good writing needs to be more than just grammatically correct. A successful essay needs range and style and variety. So a good way and a simple way to achieve that is just by varying the length and style of the sentences you use in your essays and paragraphs. Now, although students sometimes think that there are way too many different kinds of sentences in the English language, every sentence you write actually falls into one of 4 categories. And I would like to talk about the first 2 types of sentences right now. Now, the first kind is what we call the simple sentence. A simple sentence has a subject, a verb, and is one complete idea. For example, Tony flew to Toronto. Now, it's important to know that a simple sentence can also have a compound subject. For example, Tony and Janet flew to Toronto. Now, although there are 2 subjects there, you've still maintained one complete idea, and therefore it's still a simple sentence. Similarly, a simple sentence can also have a compound verb, or 2 verbs. In this case, Tony flew to Toronto and visited some friends. And again, although there are 2 verbs in this sentence, there is one subject and it is really one complete thought and is therefore a simple sentence. Now, the second kind of sentence in the English language is called the compound sentence. And it's called a compound sentence because it is when you take 2 simple sentences or 2 independent clauses and connect them to make one smooth sentence. Now, there are 3 different ways to do that. Option 1, to make a compound sentence, is by using a coordinating conjunction with a comma. So when I say coordinating conjunction, I mean and, but, or, so, for, yet, or nor. If you use a comma plus one of these 7 words to connect 2 simple sentences, you've got a compound sentence. For example, I had a very long day, so I'm going to bed. Or, a promotion at work can come with stress of added responsibilities, but it can also be very rewarding. So that's option 1. Option 2 is simply using a semicolon to connect your 2 ideas. Rather than using a conjunction, you can use the semicolon to show the relationship between 2 independent clauses. For example, I've washed the dishes every day this week, semicolon, today it is your turn. Or, the storm was very destructive, semicolon, many people lost their homes. Now, it's clear when you're looking at these 2 sentences that the semicolon represents a cause and effect relationship between the 2 sentences. Be careful not to use the semicolon to show contrast because it could confuse the reader. If you look at this sentence, the team has very devoted fans, semicolon, they never win. Now, in this case, the meaning is unclear and the connection between the 2 is unclear and could confuse the reader. So I would avoid that. Now, the third option for making a compound sentence is using a semicolon with a word that we call a conjunctive adverb. Now, by conjunctive adverb, I mean a word like therefore, however, as a result, consequently, and so on. Now, if you use a semicolon with that, one of these words, you make a compound sentence. For example, Jason passed the exam, however, he is not completely satisfied with his test results. Or, many people lost their homes in the storm, therefore, they were forced to rebuild. Now, just to sum up, there are 3 different ways to make a compound sentence. Now, look at these 3 examples that all have the same meaning. Tim missed the beginning of the movie, so I had to explain the story to him. Tim missed the beginning of the movie, semicolon, I had to explain the story to him. And Tim missed the beginning of the movie, therefore, I had to explain the story to him. So those are the first 2 of the 4 kinds of sentences in English. For practice, and for part 2 of this video, follow the link.